Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with a bit of a 2-for-1 video, if you will. So for the month of May, I am participating on Mondays in the May I Scraplift You hop that is happening, and the amazing Crystal Barrett from Pineapple Papers, she is doing this series for the whole month of May, and she's picked out a whole heap of people that she is scrapbooking for the whole month, so one person a day, and she's picked them from her Instagram subscribers, and we could follow along with those that she's picked, or we could pick our own. So what I'm actually doing is I've picked my own for the month of May, and I'm just following along on Mondays. So you'll just see videos on Mondays for the month of May. Will all be scrap lifts of different people. And that brings me to the purpose of this video, or the person that I'm scrap lifting for this video, which is the wonderful Lauren Hender. So she's on Instagram and YouTube, and I will link her in the description box down below. But I am also participating in the Scrappy Lift-a-Thon. Is that what we're calling it? Now I'm remembering the name of our hop. The Scrappy YouTubers Lift-a-Thon. And basically it is a huge list of people. It has spanned all of the month of April, and we've moved into May, and every day there's a video going up until the 7th, I think, of May. So we're near the tail end, and we're all scrap lifting the person after us. So basically today we're scrap lifting Lauren, and tomorrow Lauren will be scrap lifting Marie Hurst, or Marie Hurst. I'm not sure how she pronounces her name. So yeah, there's a nice kind of cascade. And yesterday, the wonderful Belinda Jane, she scrap lifted us. So the whole list of people participating in this over a month long hop will be linked down below. It's going to be a ginormous description box. I'm hoping it lets me put everything in there. It may not. And if that's the case, I will list everyone in the Scrappy YouTuber Lift-a-Thon, and I will just link to Crystal's channel for the May I Scraplift You series, because Crystal will have everybody else participating in that in her description box. And obviously for my video next Monday, everyone will be linked in the description box. I think this is the only 2-for-1 video that you're getting. So I'm actually going to do one of my live videos, and purely the reason I'm doing that is it's easier for me to edit. So that's what I'm doing. Now, the layout I have chosen of Lauren's to Scraplift will be in the corner here, so you can see. I'm just making sure that I've got it in front of me so I can use it as my reference point. So she created this video a while ago, quite a few months ago, I think, back in February. And I found it on her Instagram, and she's done lots of paper tearing, lots of mixed media in the background. Yeah, it's a really like funky textural kind of layout. I am seeing how it goes in a 9x12 format. So I'm going to follow the same kind of general design and have the sort of center elements down the page. And I am using 2 photos, well, 1 photo and 1 milestone card, which I'll show you after I've done my mixed media part. But it may not look exactly the same as hers, but that is definitely where I'm going with this and how I'm scrap lifting. So I'm going to do the mixed media live. So wish me luck. I am using Distress Oxide. So this one is fossilized amber. So ordinarily I would put this on the packaging straight away and then splodge it onto my page, but I also want to do splatters, so I'm just going to put it straight onto the glass media mat here, pick some up with my packaging, and just splodge away. This also means I can be a little more controlled with the amount of product on my plastic, if that makes sense, because sometimes when you do the packaging technique and you do it sort of straight on the page, straight on the plastic, sorry, you get all of this on your layout, and you don't necessarily always want all of it. So that's my tip for you. I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, hoping to do a bit of a mixed media for beginners type series. I know there's plenty of those out there, but I'm definitely thinking of, yeah, just doing a few more kind of tips and tricks for people using mixed media and how to get the most out of the supplies that you have. You don't need everything. I certainly don't have everything. But what I do have, you know, I like to be able to get multiple uses out of. So let me know if that's something that takes your fancy, because I'm still definitely thinking about doing it. It's just about finding the time, right? Now, the other thing about distress oxides that I really like is once you've kind of dried them up, soaked up the extra ink that's on top of your page, they're actually pretty dry. They dry very quickly, so it's actually really nice when you're scrapbooking in a hurry, like I am today, to use these distress oxides with water. I will possibly bring the heat gun out just for a tiny little zhuzh. But otherwise, they're good. Now, I might just I thought about doing 3 colours, but I'm tempted to just do the Fossilized Amber, and this one's Faded Jeans, but we'll see. We'll see how this looks. I'm just worried this might be a bit much. And obviously, if these 2 colours mix together, you know, we're going to get a lovely shade of green. Is green? Yellow and blue. Now, this fan brush that I'm using to splatter is fabulous, but it goes everywhere. So I love it because they're very fine splatters that are happening here, but they do go everywhere. So I will have to give my surface a nice little wipe down. I think that's all I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do the packaging technique with this colour. Now, I know it's not exactly like Lauren did on her layout, but you know, I'm happy to scrap lift people, but I definitely are also happy to kind of take inspiration from their layout, shall we say, rather than copying them directly. Now I'm just quickly wiping down my mat because, as I said, with the fan brush and the splatters, they really do go everywhere. This mat needs a proper good clean. I love this glass mat. Sorry about, you can see my lights. I know you can see my lights in the reflections. One bad thing about these mats, they aren't the best for those who have lights above them and they're filming, but they're fabulous for mixed media. And they do keep your work surface, your desk space, nice and clean. I might do a few splatters with this one, with Broken China, just for a bit of a lighter blue. So I am doing a baby layout for Lincoln's Milestone album. And I've got a few different bits that I'm sort of bringing together. I'm not kind of using one collection for the whole album. I'm just drawing from my stash, using lots of different things. And so one of the things I've got is a paper pad, a 12 by 12 paper pad, which is just from Crafter's Choice. I don't know if that's a Spotlight specific brand or if it's from the US. I have no idea, but it's just here, so I'll show you the full thing in just a minute. And I've also got a little bit of ephemera from an older Pink Paisley collection called Little Adventurer. I don't know how old it is, but I just picked it up on sale from a local scrapbooking store in an online sale they had quite a few months ago, and it was like the only thing they had from that collection. And I picked it up because, you know, it was cute. I'd not seen it before, so I suspect it's a bit older. Right, so that is the mixed media component done. Again, I'm just wiping up these splatters. I have got them all over my baby monitor. Oh dear. All right, I'm sure I'll add more splatters at the end of my layout, but here's my baby monitor with splatters all over it. Thankfully, he's still asleep. So, this is the paper pad here. So it's Crafter's Choice Kids Play. I don't know anything about it. It does say it's made in China. I don't know, as I said, if it's a Spotlight's own brand or, you know, if it's from somewhere else, but I picked that up on special from Spotlight ages ago, and I've actually put a fair dent in it, so I'm really trying to work through that. And then, as I said, I've got these are cut aparts from the cut apart sheet of that collection, and then this Little Adventure collection has some like trains and boats and treasure maps and tags and fish and planes, just all sorts of bits and pieces. So I've got those to play with. I have got some tiny word stickers, Don't remember where they're from, sorry. I've got some fussy cut baby elephants or elephants that I can use. And I've got these thicker sheets, which again I've had for a while. This one's called Peekaboo, and it's a puffy thicker, and this one is called Grayson, and it's a foam thicker, grey and silver. So I'm going to have a play around. I'm going to pull some scraps of paper out. So these are just my scraps that I keep in a baggie. See, as you can see, I've done no pre-planning for this, but I've got some strips already cut, so I might just use some of those. That's not quite 9 by 12, which is slightly annoying, but that's okay. Sorry, it's not quite 12 inches long. But I've got a few different ones here that I could pull from. I really like this one, so it might be cool to tear some of that as a layer. That one will work. Maybe just some basic grey might be nice. This mustard colour might be not quite the same as the yellow. And I could use pinks, but I don't think, oh, that one is cute. Maybe I could add just a, we'll see what other embellishments I've got to bring in. I don't really want to bring in, I'm happy to have pink in my layouts. I have no issue with that. But obviously if it's the only pink on the page, we'll have to see how we go. So what I think I'm going to do is do some page tearing like Lauren's done in her layout. And then I'll come back to you and I will have stuck down that strip, and then I will talk through how I might place my photos and embellish. So this will also give this a minute to dry while I do my strip tearing. I will probably do quite thin strips, so I think this is a little, I mean, this in itself isn't thick, but once I add more layers, I think it'll be too thick. And I do want to see some of the mixed media poking through. So I think I'll make mine slightly thinner than Lauren has in hers. I kind of want the pattern to go that way. So I'll just give you an example. I quite like tearing this way because it makes the edge neat on that side. So I'm thinking, you know, I'll just do a few strips like that. See, I really have no plan. Let's see what we can do with this one. Might as well sort of keep the same feel going on. Have that kind of poking through the top. This one's got the yellow. Oh, that could work. That could work. It does have tearing on both sides, so let's see if I tuck that one under there. What I might end up doing is adding a little bit down there if I can sort of line that up so it doesn't look too odd. Otherwise, depending on my photos are, if they cover this, I will chop it and extend it down. And I mean, I could put that over that side. Again, I want some of that mixed media to be poking out of that side. Maybe I just will do a tiny little bit of this blue. Potentially kind of poking out in the middle. So it'll end up being something like that. So I'm going to stick these down, but also come back and distress this edge as well, so there's no straight lines, straight edges. So I'm going to stick all that down, and then I'll come back, show you where we're at, and talk about the photos that I'm using, because obviously I haven't got them out yet, and how we might tuck in some embellishments around this focus point down the middle. So I will be back in just a second. Okay, so I've been having a bit of a play. Nothing is stuck down in terms of embellishments, only the background. So I've stuck down my strips of paper, and I cut down my cardstock and mounted it behind some more paper from that paper pad and then just distress the edges too, just for something a bit different. Lauren didn't do that in hers, but I just felt like it was going to work for me. Now, my embellishment is going to be a little different to hers. I have just noticed that I feel like she's done some stamping in the background of hers. I didn't do any stamping in mine, but that's okay. So basically, I've got my two photos. Well, I've got my photo here, which is of Lincoln when he was 11 weeks old. This is his milestone card. What I'm doing is creating a 9x12 album of his milestones, and I'm using some of these cards that I had, that I never took photos of him holding or anything. I just had them, and I thought, actually, these will be kind of cool on the scrapbook. I got on quite a few of these fussy cut elephants that I had in my stash, a few little bits from the fussy cut this tree. Okay, that's the only thing. From the cut apart sheet from my 12x12 paper pad, and then the moon, the plane, and the world globe are from the Pink Paisley Little Adventurer ephemera pack. And then this little piece here is actually a it's called a from Charms Creations. I think she calls them charms. And so they are kind of, there's felt and there's this, what do you call this stuff? Tulle and material, and she sews them all together in cute little kind of different patterns. I've got quite a few more. So I've got like a star, an arrow, a plus sign or a cross. I've got some in blue. I've got heaps actually, more than just these colors. These ones don't have this kind of goldy type material in the background, which is fraying, but I really love that look. It's like a really cool texture. So I'm going to tuck one of those in just for, I want to use them up. I've got them in my stash and I think they're cute. So I'm going to add that down there. And then what I think I will do is add some of these tiny words, mainly because I'm trying to use them. They are baby boy related. And so I want to get them onto my baby boy pages while he's still a baby boy. And so yeah, so I want to get some of those on. And Lauren used a lot of tiny word stickers, or tiny words in general actually, to embellish her layout. It's very kind of grungy feel. So I think I'm going to just start sticking while I'm talking to you all, and then just see how this all comes together. I'm not measuring anything. Lauren did have a title on her layout that sort of went, not sort of, it did go down this left hand side of the page. I'm not using a title because this milestone card is effectively my title, so there won't be a title on this, so don't panic, there's no title. Oh, my ATG gun is just about to run out of tape. Of course it is. Right in the middle of a video. Very frustrating. Now I'm just going to push him down a bit, I think, and have the little, I don't know whether I should have him peeking out maybe. So how much tape have I got left in this? Nothing. Couple more goes, I think. Then my ATG will have run out. I wonder if I should try to refill it on camera. I mean, obviously this is an actual live video. I will be editing it, so I could edit it out if it's a complete fail. But I possibly will need to refill. So I'm just going to tuck that in there. I want to move it over just a bit. There we go. Now I'll make this cluster down here. I have to stick the Charms Creations on with wet glue, and it does take a minute to dry because it's very textural. So I will come back and stick that on with wet glue, and we're done. We're done. Oh, I won't refill it here. If you would like me to refill it in a video one day, let me know and I will. It can be a little fiddly, so but I would be happy to do it. But I have a stash of double-sided tape just on my desk, so I will grab that for the moment. So I'm just going to stick these bits down, trying to figure out the best way to do this. And as I said, this one needs wet glue, so, and a decent amount. I hate this. When I'm on camera here, I need a little pin to unclog my glue. I keep one on my desk for this very purpose. There we go. Don't worry, I will clean that off, but it's the only thing I use it for, that pin. Now this is the art glitter glue. And I know it looks like it's excessive, but the fabric soaks up a lot of this glue. So I needed to make sure I added enough that it would stay. And I'm just going to hold this down for a minute. I should grab a sip of my tea. Oh, now, who was I watching the other day? Maybe it was Jackie. Was using a stamping block as like a weight to hold on things. Or was it Janet? Maybe it was you, Janet. If it was you, tell me in the comments down below, because that is a brilliant idea. I'm just looking for a little pop dot here, and I just sort of want to, oh, he's going to need two. Now, the other thing I was going to say to you all is I am trying, as I put double pop dots on this, to reduce the bulk in my album, because I'm trying to fit a lot of layouts into this 9x12 album for Lincoln's milestones, and so I am not popping up a hell of a lot of stuff. I mean, the Charms Creations is quite dimensional, but I haven't popped up my photos or anything like that, so I try to only go up kind of one level of dimension, if that makes sense, and sometimes I don't have anything popped up, and I try to add kind of interest and dimension in other ways. So for example, you know, roughing up my edges, overlapping things, using different textures and different mediums, to try and add some interest without adding dimension, if that makes sense. But because I have added dimension down there, I'm okay to pop up a couple of things, but otherwise, if I hadn't have added my little charm creations there, I probably wouldn't have popped up any of these, because again, I'm going for quantity in my albums, not bulk. So that's all done. Now I want to add a couple of these tiny word stickers just around the layout if I can. Oh, I'm going to add the one that says pajamas because he's wearing his onesie. This one that says oh boy, and let's go on an adventure. Not that he's going on an adventure, but cute anyway. Add that down there. What else have we got? Munchkin. Tuck that there. Little dude. Oh, that's not straight. I mean, I know I don't measure things, but I do try to get it more straight than that. Little dude. Apple of my eye. That's cute. Not really boy related, but it's still cute. Oh, read me a story. Oh, how cute. Read me a story. Two more. I can't use that smile because he's not actually smiling. Mischievous. Handsome. I'll put a little handsome just there. And I'll put a little... Where did mischievous go? Here. I'll put a little mischievous just there. Right, added some of those. Now I am going to come in with some more splatters because that's just what I do. And I am going to cover my photo, but I'm not covering my milestone card. I don't mind if that gets splatters on it, but I am going to cover my photo. So I don't really want splatters on Lincoln's face. And then I'm going to add some of the navy Heidi Swap Colour Shine, which if you watch my channel you know is my absolute favourite mist of all the ones I've tried. Now obviously I haven't tried every mist available on the market, but of the ones I own, this is by far my favourite and the one that goes on the majority of my layouts. I love it because it dries. It looks really dark now, but once it's dried, it goes a beautiful shade of blue and it's shimmery. It's stunning. Okay, so this is it. I'm finished. This is my layout. So this is my Scraplift of Lauren Hender for the Scrappy YouTubers Lift-a-Thon. So all of the links will be in the description box down below, and it is also my layout for the May I Scraplift You with Crystal Barrett from Pineapple Papers. She's running that all month long, and I'm participating on Mondays. So on Mondays for this whole month, you will see a Scraplift on this channel. So that's super exciting. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.